Welcome back to another episode of Value Bites. Today, I am excited to have a long-term friend and colleague and client, Amber Briggle, with Soma Massage Therapy. So Amber, I know you have a lot of amazing things going on over at Soma. Let's start with telling the audience just a little bit more about Soma Massage Therapy and what your role is there.
Yeah, thanks you so much, Heather, for having me on today. I always love hanging out with you, and this just always love bragging about Soma too. So this is a great treat for me. So thank you. Soma Massage Therapy, located at 531 North Elm Street. We also have a second location at 2500 Lillian Miller here in Denton. We specialize in really more kind of like rehabilitative medical massage. We've got 25, 26 or so massage therapists on staff between our two locations. And so there really is something for everybody. We offer prenatal, cupping, lymphatic. If you just want just like a relaxing Swedish, we have, a ton of therapists there who can help you with that too. So we offer a variety of modalities, but our bread and butter really is, really doing more like I said, that rehabilitative work where we are, breaking down the fascia, realigning the muscle fibers, breaking down the adhesions, increasing your range of motion, decreasing your pain, and really just, we're not a fluff and buff spa. We really try and get in there and work on not only where it hurts, but also maybe where it's coming from. One of the things that really sets Soma apart from the rest of the competition is not only that focus on sort of like medical rehabilitative massage. But because of that, we have a no tipping policy, which is kind of unheard of in this industry. But I've always looked at it myself being a massage therapist. I'm like, look, like if you've never tipped your physical therapist or your chiropractor, why would you be tipping us when what we're doing is very much in alignment, with what they're doing as well. So we are open 7 days a week. We are by appointment only. You can find us at mysomamassage.com. And I've been in town I moved here in 2009 and it was just me, literally just me working out of a spare bedroom of my house. And I had a booth at the very, very, very first ever Denton Community Market back in 2010. And I just gave away free chair massage for like 10 minutes. And all I asked was for people to give me a phone number and a working email so I could start an email list and start my business that way. And we still have people today who I met, or maybe their spouses are coming to see me, or their colleagues continue to see me, even though it's been 15 years since I gave that first free chair massage. So it's been really, a trip. It's been a real trip, Heather, to see how this business has grown from just me in a spare bedroom in my house to growing to our first brick and mortar on Malone Street, to navigating COVID, now having a beautiful downtown location and another one in a chiropractic clinic. Now we're looking at franchising coast to coast. It's just been a real trip. I had no idea I would even be here, but I'm really happy with this life journey I've been on.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, I know we've talked in the past about how rare it is for a business to actually make it as far as you have. I mean, it really is a unique and special thing. And I know that you've taken great care of Soma and of your clients and of the people that work for you as you've grown. And so thinking about that moment where you made the choice of going the franchise route, talk me through kind of what your thought process was and what gave you that aha moment of being able to grow in that way rather than growing by opening more locations that were just
Yeah.
strictly under your management?
Yeah, I do get that question. They're like, why franchising? Why not open a second location? Gosh, where do I begin? So at every stage of my career, I've always tried to find a way to kind of scale up what I'm doing to meet the needs of my clients and my community. So whether that was early in my career, adjusting my schedule so that I'm available on a Thursday night instead of a Monday morning, because that's more popular, maybe expanding my hours that I'm able to work, shortening my turnover time so I can see more people in a day, whatever it was that I could do personally to try and make myself more accessible to my clients. When that got to be no longer sustainable, when I had more demand than supply, that's when I began to think about hiring people who complemented my work so that on my busiest days, I could just refer them to someone, excuse me, I refer them to someone whose work was similar enough to mine to be an easy transition for my clients to make until they could get back on my table. Then she got busy, and then I hired another, and then we got a bigger location, right? We got to the point where I was really looking at maybe a second or third location, but I also started thinking about, where do I want to be 5 to 10 years from now? And I'm not, as much as I love Denton, I'm not sure Texas is my forever home. My son's going to be graduating high school in a year. That's when my daughter's going to be beginning high school. Do we make the jump then? Do we make the jump in 4 years when my daughter graduates? Are we here forever? I don't know. I kind of wanted some options. And I thought about how much work I was putting into the daily management of my, 2 locations here. And did I want to add a third and a fourth and a fifth and be further sort of tethered to this location? Or can I invest that same amount of money that it would have taken me to open another location and invest it into a franchise plan so that someone else can create the healing and the wealth that I've been able to create at Soma, right? And that to me seemed like a better deal for what I envisioned for my life. It may not be for everybody, but it was something that I've thought about for several months and thought that'd be the right step for me. The short answer is that I went on vacation to the Olympic Peninsula and decided I wanted to live there forever. And I didn't really know how I could. There's no Soma in the Olympic Peninsula, right?
Now there might not be
Not
enough
yet,
demand there
right?
for
Yes,
you.
right, exactly. So it's not like with some people they have the luxury of you can just kind of work remotely from wherever. Some people have the option of transferring to another branch in a different location. I didn't have that because I'm a small business owner. So I thought, rather than investing in more small businesses, why don't I elevate myself to a corporate CEO where I can work wherever I want and simultaneously scale up the healing that the community clearly needs. And so we're not just focusing on Denton or the DFW Metroplex or Texas, but we're looking nationwide and healing as many people as we possibly can. And then maybe then I can move to the Olympic Peninsula. So everybody's happy.
Nice. Yeah, that would make me pretty happy to be able to move somewhere like that too. That sounds awesome. So I love that you first of all have taken the time and given yourself the space to think about what do you want in life in that 5, 10 years. So often as business owners we get stuck in this day-to-day rut, and it's really hard to see outside of that and think about that future planning. So I think that's amazing that you've done that work and that you've given yourself permission to do that work, because a lot of times, especially as women, it can be really hard to do that. And the other thing that's really difficult is the letting go and the starting to operationalize and not having your hand in every part of the business. And I'm sure preparing for a franchise, that's even more important than it is just growing your business.
Wow.
So people that are thinking about either significant growth or franchise route, or maybe even just looking at how can they get some of that time back to be able to go take an amazing vacation, what are some suggestions you would give them to start getting their mindset and their business ready for that shift?
For getting their mindset ready for franchising, for stepping back, like what I mean, because
Any of it. Yeah. What
yeah.
stands out the most to you as something that you've done that would be good advice you could pass on to someone who's thinking about franchising, or maybe even just growth and getting some of their time
Yeah,
back?
sure. Or just being an owner operator and having more people manage it. I mean, it's so, yeah. Surround yourself with really solid people who like excel at customer service and believe in you and your goals and are there to support you and the brand every step of the way. They're not there to sabotage you. They're able to not only kind of work within the boundaries of sort of like your business plan, your business model, your business values, but then within those boundaries, think really creatively of how can we continue to make this business even better and even bigger, right? So the first step is get yourself the right people. And if those people aren't on your team right now, you might need to have some hard conversations because they're holding you back, quite frankly. So surround yourself with the right people who believe in you, believe in the business, and you fully trust them. You give them the keys and you say, here you go. And then you take these baby steps along the way and you are CCing them in your email responses so they know how the script goes the next time, right? You're putting together one of the things that I put together during, I guess what I call a franchise boot camp for about 9 months is I wrote an operations manual. I took 20 years of business ownership out of my brain and I put it down on a piece of paper to make sure that you have your policies and procedures in place so that it can be duplicated, whether you're just stepping back as an owner operator and maybe adding 2 or 3 or 4 locations and having people manage it. Having an operations manual is key. But also if you're planning on franchising, you're definitely going to want to be able to duplicate the success that you're experiencing at your current location across the country. And then the second thing I would say is just learn how to just step back and trust. It was really, Soma, when people meet me at parties and they associate me with Soma, they're like, oh my gosh, I love Soma and I've heard so much about you. Da, da, da. And I've been really kind of a part of Soma's DNA for its entire life. So learning how to extract myself so that Soma can stand alone has been a challenge for me, but it's been actually very rewarding because it does allow me to uh, to uh, think again about where I want to be 5 to 10 years from now is being more of that corporate CEO. I want to be working on my business instead of in my business.
Yeah.
So trusting your team and then teaching yourself how to step back and not micromanage them would be the two biggest things I would say.
I love that. And I love the idea of bringing in the right people. And I'm sure that's going to transfer over too to who you choose to award your franchises to as well. You kind of already built that foundation of knowing what values you're seeking out in people and how they're going to be a good fit for you to grow forward. And
Exactly
so,
right.
what
Yeah.
are some of those values that you look for in either the people that work for you directly or that you're going to partner with in a franchise model?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I love that you use the word award a franchise because I'm not selling a franchise like I'm selling a hamburger, right? Like we are awarding franchises to people who align with our values because the last thing, Soma is a very value driven business and we really put our values out there without necessarily being political. I think like even when I ran for city council, I didn't even put my own yard sign in the window. Like I don't want someone to be a political space, but you can still stand firm for your values and make it very visible for people. And if I were to just sell a franchise to someone who didn't align with our values, that is a surefire way to tank the whole brand. And that is not, it's just not going to be sustainable. So your question, what are our values? People over profits, first and foremost. I have fired paying clients for even looking at us sideways. We have a certain element of risk as massage therapists, and so we really have to trust our gut. And so we and escort negative and improper energy out the door so that we can make space for the right kinds of people. And we have policies and procedures in place to keep our therapists and our clients safe. And so people over profits, I treat my therapists like the healthcare professionals that they are. I don't ride their ass if they're out sick. And I, make sure I pay them a fair living wage and I, allow them some flexibility with their schedule. And, I want to give them the freedom that they need to be able to provide the appropriate care to their clients. Right. I think when you put the profits before the people, then what happens is you're constantly chasing the dollar and your team feels undervalued and exploited. They're going to bounce to the next massage studio. They're going to take their clients with them. You're going to have this constant rotating door of trying to hire new employees, trying to attract new clients instead of just caring for the people who care for the business. And when you care for the people first, the profits will follow. But when you flip them, it's just not a sustainable model. We're also, another core value is we are highly inclusive. We're a very welcoming space, regardless of your background, your history, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your political affiliation, your economic background, your ability. Like everyone has a place at Soma, and we have a beautiful poster right there in our lobby that states our values. It's even printed on the back of our t-shirts. I think those two things are really what. Oh, and the third, I knew there was a third one. It's investing in our community. If you've got $500, I don't spend it on a Google ad. Google doesn't need $500 of my money. But if you're a local PTA and you want me to buy coffee for your teachers on, on the first of the month or provide a couple of gift certificates for a raffle, 100%. We will step up every time. And because we believe that if we want our clients to be healthy and thriving, that needs to extend beyond our doors. They need to be living in a healthy and thriving community. So we do that by providing what the community is asking for us to provide, which is often money or in-kind donations, right? So that they can continue to have successful nonprofits so that they can support the community, right? And if Denton has invested so deeply in us, we feel it's only fair and right for us to invest it back in Denton. So those are
Yeah.
our core values. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know how much y'all give back. I see your branding on pretty much any community event or thing that's happening.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting to think about that exponential impact that franchising and having multiple locations
Yeah.
across geography could have. It
Yeah.
really you have the opportunity to really make a huge impact across all the different locations you'll have in.
Scaling up. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's not just meeting the needs of the clients, but it's also meeting the needs of the community. I mean, we're first in line. You need pizza for your kindergarten class? Give me a call. Like you need a couples massage for your United Way fundraiser basket? Give me a call. Like what is it that you need? And we're happy to provide. We just provided like $1,000 scholarship to a local Hispanic student through the LULAC scholarship dinner recently. And like that is just like one of the most fulfilling things that we do all year long. So yeah, we go hard for our community. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're right. That's a lot more fun than paying for Google Ads.
A lot more fun. And you get in front of people and you're building those relationships, and then you're top of mind when people think I need a massage. Where am I going to go? I mean, they're going
Mhm.
to be thinking of us and be thinking about the good that we do in the community. And people, I mean, I just did a webinar on this. People want to put their money where their values are being reflected, right? And so if we
Yeah.
can reflect the values of Denton, and Denton is such a heart forward community. We're very generous with each other. That's it. Just it. We're just mirroring that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. Okay, before we wrap up, I know you have an amazing referral program going for the franchise opportunities. So tell me a little bit more about what that looks like, how people can get involved in that program.
Yeah, thank you. So we are offering franchise opportunities, and I want to make it really clear to your listeners too, Heather, that like you don't have to be a massage therapist to own a Soma franchise, because you're not going to be doing the massage. Right?
Right.
Like you're going to be the owner operator, or you're going to be the general manager. Like, and we have an operations manual where we can teach you how to direct your inquiring clients to the right type of massage. Like we can teach you that. Similarly, like if you open a Dunkin' Donuts, like you don't need to know how to make a donut. Like they teach you how to make. Like you don't have to
Right.
be a baker, right? You
Yeah.
don't have to be a massage therapist to own a Soma Massage Therapy. We're looking for franchise owners who are interested in wellness, in investing in your community, like I said, who align with our values, who are hard workers, creative thinkers, problem solvers, good communicators, and really wanting to be their own boss, have your own schedule and um, you know, follow our rules, but also kind of like make your own rules, like live your own life, right? So those are the people that we're looking for. If that's you, that's great. Give me a call. You can fill out a form at the top of our website. It's mysomamassage.com/franchise. If that's not you, but you know someone for whom this would be a really interesting opportunity, please send them my way. Send them that link, mysomamassage.com/franchise. And if that person ends up becoming a Soma Massage Therapy franchisee in the future, then you, as my way of thanking you for making that powerful introduction, you will get either $1,000 cash or a year of free massages. So think about, who do you know who might be looking for a career change, maybe looking for an investment, maybe is interested in health and wellness, and is a hard worker. Send us that intro. I'll be happy to give you $1,000 cash or a year of free massages.
Perfect. So we know how to reach you for the referral program or anyone interested in massage. But if folks want to connect with you to learn more about your journey, how you've gotten to where you are, if they have other questions about Soma, where can they find you, Amber?
Yeah, well, I'm on LinkedIn. It's Amber Briggle. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook at My Soma Massage. You just go to our website, mysomamassage.com. There's a contact form on there. You can fill out any questions or whatever is on your mind. You can also give us a call or text us 940-241-4490. If I can't get back to you right away, my team can. They're fantastic. So lots of ways. I'm not hard to find.
Perfect. Thank you again so much for joining me today, Amber. And I'm excited to see where Soma goes, where you go, and how quickly you get to go live on that amazing peninsula that
Oh
you.
my God, it's so pretty. All the trees. I'm so excited. Someday. Thanks for the opportunity today, Heather. It's been a delight.